I came to the conclusion last night, Patrick Mahomes is underrated. He is. He is. He's underrated. Because when you watch him, there's never a feeling of, oh, I wonder if he can do it, or, he's going to get loose here and do something that, is not normal. Even if they kick the field goal, make the field goal, you still give them a minute and 45 seconds and 2 timeouts. How many players do we have in all the sports where you go, yeah, he'll make it happen?
He only needs 13 seconds,
There's something about him when he takes the field. It feels like he's one step ahead. Now, he's not, but there's a looming presence of they've got Patrick Mahomes. And the only other time I really remember that is Tom Brady, where you go, oh, boy, they gave him too much time. Maybe if you go back to a previous generation with Joe Montana, he did it twice in the Super Bowl against the Bengals where, last second, last minute, they end up winning those Super Bowls. But winning a game, a big game, an important game, a playoff game on the road, I never, ever doubted Patrick Mahomes. Now, I can doubt the Kansas City Chiefs. I can doubt some of their receivers. Maybe Andy Reid with some of his decisions. But when it comes back to the common denominator, the bottom line, it's Patrick Mahomes. Here's Mahomes after beating the Bills in Buffalo.
I've been on the other side of that. It's tough. You put in so much effort and work every single game to play in these playoff games, and he played his tail off and gave them a chance to win the game. We were just able to come out with the win in the end. But that's 2 great football teams, 2 great offenses, defenses, everything going at it, and we were able to come out on top this week.
Yeah, he's talking about Josh Allen, who had a couple of touchdown runs. And I was trying to figure out what was Buffalo's game plan, the philosophy here. They were running the ball. And then nobody scored in the second half. Buffalo decides they're going to pass in the fourth quarter. And I was just trying to figure out if they knew what was going to be successful. Or, hey, we're going to surprise them. Hey, we'll have a surprise punt. No, that's not good. You didn't need to surprise them. I thought Buffalo was able to go toe-to-toe, run the ball, control the clock, and beat them at home. But then all of a sudden, you play a game of, chess, and then you start to outthink yourself. And I kept wondering, why is Buffalo changing up whatever their philosophy is? They had a chance to send it into overtime, or at least the possibility of overtime, and this is how it sounded with the potential game-tying kick.
44-yard attempt from the right hash. Snap by Ferguson, hold by Martin, kick by Bass is on the way, and it is no good. No good, wide to the right.
Big time miss by Bass. He struggled a week ago. And so now the Bills go out there on defense, and they only have 2 timeouts left in this one. They have got to make a stop.
So that's Tyler Bass, and that was the Bills radio network with the call. So they advanced 27-24. Now they go to Baltimore. And here's something that I think for most of the year we've talked about Lamar Jackson. Hey, get that contract. And, Zay Flowers loved him. Nobody really knew who he was. He played at BC. And you still have maybe the greatest kicker in NFL history. John Harbaugh is going to be a Hall of Fame coach. And it was not about their defense. Their defense is elite. It is great. And I think if Baltimore is going to win the Super Bowl, they will win not because of Lamar Jackson, but because of that defense. Now, do you need Lamar Jackson making big plays? Absolutely. But we tend to focus on the quarterbacks, and Lamar has done, he's going to be your MVP. But that defense is great. And that is a very, very interesting matchup of Baltimore's defense against Kansas City's offense, and it's in Baltimore. But the Ravens over the Texans, and it's one of those seasons with the Texans where you go, wow, congratulations. I know that they got blown out, or the appearance of being blown out, but to get where they got, and, here's C.J. Stroud making it look easy. You found your quarterback. The Niners over the Packers. Packers were a better team. They were that night. They were a better team. But the Niners made the plays when they need to make the plays on that last drive. Brock Purdy didn't look great. Didn't look good. And Jordan Love, You press a little bit there. We don't need to go Brett Favre. We don't need to act like Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. Be yourself. And he tried a little too hard there and had the interception. Had a couple interceptions. Lions over the Buccaneers. If I'm the Buccaneers, I feel really good about, what my team did. And maybe you found your quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Certainly looked like that. And that was a little closer than I thought it should have been, where you're going, all right, Lions, what are you doing? Because Tampa didn't seem that threatening. And then all of a sudden they were threatening. And then all of a sudden they're looming, they're hanging. And then you go, oh, boy, you imagine Buccaneers go into Detroit and ruin all of this? Here's Dan Campbell talking about the environment at home.
Well, I think it's important, right? You can't, it's not the first thing you think of if you go to L.A. or just in general, right? You got the sun, you got the beach, you got plenty of other things going on. And here, man, it's harsh winters, right? Auto industry, blue collar, things aren't always easy. And I just think that's what we were about. And that was, you want something the city can be proud of. Though you can look at those guys and say, man, I can back that guy. I can back that team. I can resonate with those group of guys. They're kind of salty. They don't quit. They play hard. And so I feel like we've done that. And I think these guys, they have a kinship with this city in this area. And they love it.
Yeah, I hope so. Because you had people who had an entire life where they didn't have a playoff win. Or maybe they had one. And now all of a sudden you've had two. And now you go to San Francisco. And I know Dallas has self-proclaimed America's team. It might be the Detroit Lions. That if you're looking for that team, if your team's not in, it's Detroit. And Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome. Whew. In space, as the analysts like to say. Now, when he was coming out, my college football source said, hey, he's going to be the best running back in this draft, and he's going to remind you of Marshall Faulk. So remember, Detroit took him 12th. And then people are like, oh, my God, you don't take a running back that early. Well, I'm watching that yesterday, and I'm going, yeah, maybe they got him where they needed to get him. And what a great draft by the Detroit Lions. But Jahmyr Gibbs, his ability to make you miss, in a phone booth, it's really, really impressive. And that's a fun team. It's a fun team to watch and a fun team to root for. But going out to San Francisco, where they're a 7-point underdog, and the Chiefs will be getting 3 against the Ravens. All right, we say good morning. If you're watching on Peacock, you can download the app if you haven't done so. Our radio affiliates around the country as well. Best and worst of the weekend. We do that every Monday. What you saw that you liked, you didn't like. Seton O'Connor's responsibility, at least one of them, is to come up with a thought-provoking poll question.
I'm more of a poll question curator these days, Dan.
All right.
I like to get the group involved.
Okay.
This one's from Paulie. Which hurts more? What happened to the Bills yesterday or actual pain? One don't hurt.
Yeah. See, this is where the cold, harsh reality, literally the cold, harsh reality of, okay, no more football. Now we have winter.
Yeah, season's over.
Yeah. You have winter in Buffalo, but when you have football in Buffalo at the same time, you're like, yeah, we can put up with this. It ain't that bad. Now all of a sudden it's like, God, dang it, it's cold. This is really cold. If Detroit had lost, it would have been the cold, harsh reality of, man, this is cold. But, I would say that pain can go away from the standpoint if I injure myself, okay, that eventually goes away. I don't know how long this takes to go away.
Because it's taken a while thus far.
And, of course, it's wide right. There's part of you that would rather be blown out than to lose in a close game. Yes, Eden.
It feels like to have that kick go wide right, which I don't believe that's the reason that they lost the game. It's just an unfortunate.
No. Yeah.
An unfortunate occurrence.
Yeah.
But to have that kick go wide right is one of the cruelest things I can think of the sports gods doing to a fan base.
And I kept thinking, if you're going to miss it left. Like, do not miss it right.
And the way that it's like it was on a string and at about 10 yards before the uprights. Zip. Because it catches, I don't know what kind of spin was on it or whatever, but it hangs a sharp right. Not even,
It's like it had a blinker, a turn signal on.
Yeah.
Here is Jim Nantz with the call on CBS.
The game on the line, he will. 44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it. Wide right. Wow. The two most dreaded words in Buffalo.
Yeah, great call by Jim. Great call. So what else do we have? Other poll questions there, Seton.
That is just
Yeah.
absolutely cruel.
Yeah.
We got 2 from Todd.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Will Josh Allen eventually reach the Super Bowl? Yes or no? Again, these always read as statements for some reason.
I know.
From,
This is where Todd. So it's not a question. This is your opinion. You don't think Josh Allen's going to make a Super Bowl?
I would like to see him reach a Super Bowl.
No. You would. That's not the question.
I had a bet right now. I'm going to say, unfortunately, it's going to go the way of no Super Bowl.
Okay.
appearances.
All right. Okay.
Just setting up that way.
Yeah. You have statements. You project. Okay. What's Todd's?
He's likable, and
No. That's not what this is. You don't. Likability doesn't get you to the Super Bowl.
that's true.
Okay. Thank you, Todd. All right. What else, Seton? What's Todd's other statement?
he's got another one that feels more rude. I'd rather him read it.
How tired are you of the Chiefs and everything that comes with them?
I get all of that. I understand that.
And everything that comes with them is the added part of that.
Okay, what's this based on?
That could be based on the commercials with Andy Reid and
lot.
Mahomes and Kelsey and
Yeah.
girlfriends and wives and press box and suites and they keep winning and beating up my team on top of that. And the choices are very much so, slightly, in Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
Well, you have Travis Kelsey, who he looked banged up, but he did have 2 touchdowns, and his brother was there with his shirt off in the suite.
He was there?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was there.
They're not shy of the camera.
The
Kelsey bros.
they are not.
They're not shy of the camera.
You know what? This is business.
Yeah, it is. And they're making, their podcast
Yes.
is like off the charts.
This is a business game plan decision.
Straight cash, homie.
It's like, Peyton and Eli. It's a game plan here with the Kelseys. But Travis had a couple of touchdowns, and then he gave the heart.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, okay. Like, I was okay with it because if you're going to do it, then go all the way.
See, I thought at first.
And I love love.
You do love love. I thought that he blew the kiss and did the heart thing to the Buffalo fans. I thought he was doing it to Bills fans.
Oh.
Because he touchdown, blew a kiss. You know that they've been getting on him the whole game.
Yeah.
And talking all this trash, probably the whole week leading up on social media and all of that. I thought that he did both of those things to Bills fans.
Yes, Marvin.
If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, the cover of Forbes magazine, Roger Goodell, the Kelsey brothers, Taylor Swift. Just a nice big, you know what? We all made this happen, everybody.
Okay.
With the Super Bowl trophy right there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think his brother gets on stage.
On the cover of Forbes magazine, I was talking about.
Okay, but they wouldn't be all Taylor would be up on the podium with Travis. I don't think that's happening.
No, I don't either.
No. It'd be great though if I was handing out the trophy and I had that opportunity, because I'd ask Taylor probably 3 questions and then Travis 2 questions. And then maybe one to Andy Reid. Yes, Todd.
Are there any legal issues with those that were throwing snowballs directly at the Chiefs to find them, or only if one of them would have actually got hit or injured or hit in the face? Because Mahomes a couple of times looked like he came very close to get hit right in the face with a snowball. What do you do about that? Let that wink it that the home team is allowed to throw snowballs?
Okay, everybody's got hats and gloves on.
But they have a way of zooming in. They know who stormed the Capitol. There's ways to get, I don't know, you could find out.
Storming the Capitol.
I'm saying you can zoom in. They have the technology to find out who's throwing snowballs, and there should be some punishment for that. You could really hurt somebody with that.
Okay, why don't you send a note to the NFL?
I think the local police
Or maybe
department.
the local police. Maybe just ask them if they plan on pressing charges.
But they may be, hey, it's our Bills fans. Good for them. I'm
Yes.
glad I wish they would have hit a couple of them.
Yes, Seton.
I mean, we did bring it up after the Steelers game
We
there
did.
too.
Yeah, we
where
did.
people were throwing snowballs.
Yeah. I don't know if now that was after the game. Look, I don't know if they're going to try to single people out, enforce that. The local police are going to do that. But you can, check with the local police there if you want, or the NFL. Or Mike Florio. Send Mike. He loves hearing from you, Todd.
Seems like that. Yeah, he does. Seems like that is part of the something that you don't get with the ticket. I'm sure there's got to be something written on the back that you can't be throwing snowballs at people.
Thank you, Todd.
Okay.